Hey everyone, it's Rebecca Ruth. Thanks for tuning in again as I speak to another fashion creative. Today I have LaKisa Renee with me. How are you, LaKisa?
Hello, I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here and for chatting with us a little bit. I love to jump right in, as a lot of people know. So go ahead and tell us where you are and what you do in the industry.
Hello, everybody. My name is LaKisa Renee. I am a CEO of an entertainment company called LaKisa Renee Entertainment, where I host events. I do red carpet interviews with celebrities. I write for different magazines, such as Culture Focus Magazine and Franchise. So I really love, interviewing people, being a journalist, sharing stories. Pretty awesome. I also have a beauty and wellness company called Les du Jour. So with that, I do makeup, I do skincare, I do body services. So you can come to me, get your makeup done, get a facial, get a massage, all that great stuff. And I have a shop here in Syracuse, New York, with a friend, and we run it together. It's absolutely amazing. So if you're ever in the area, come see me. I get you all together. Also, outside of that, I model and I act too as well. I've coordinated like many shows for Fashion Week and shows here in Syracuse. Yeah, so I do a lot of different things, community activist as well, for different organizations. So yeah, just entertainment, beauty, that's my thing.
Well, it's a lot of things. So entertainment,
Yeah.
beauty, fashion, it's a lot of things. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. I do want to say Syracuse, New York, for those of you who don't know, is upstate New York. And so not exactly what you would think of as a fashion, beauty mecca by
Not
any
at
means. I actually lived in Syracuse for a short while, so I'm actually familiar with Syracuse. So talk a little bit about that, about, starting this type of business and everything in a city that, where it really didn't exist, I would assume that much.
Yeah, it really wasn't much here in Syracuse at all for fashion. There was a fashion agency, and then another company that was doing like little mini small fashion shows and things like that, but it wasn't like on a national market or, a place where people would come and attend shows. So I say about 8, 9 years ago, I got with a partner who I'm no longer with, but during that time we made some magic. We got together and decided to, put our talents together, with her being a coordinator, me having experience as a model and makeup artist first, and having a lot of girls coming to both of us, asking, can y'all help us? We see you excel in your career. How can we be like that? And we're like, came up with a company where we had talent from models, singers, dancers, rappers, all across the board. And we just, started reaching out to people, contacting different businesses. Hey, you need models for this, or for commercials, or for, promotions at parties. And it kind of just grew from there and became something amazing. Like I never expected it to grow as much as it did and take off. But we got a lot of people coming to Syracuse for fashion. We were doing international fashion shows with people from Dubai, Egypt, Honduras. It was amazing. So we literally like created this lane, especially for people of color, because we didn't have any, outlets here. Mostly everything was, for Caucasian people. You never see any people of color anywhere. So to open up the opportunity for us was amazing, and excel and be able to, grow all across the country, do all these different shows everywhere, and bring the talent from Syracuse with us was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love to hear that because, I'm sure you do as well. I talk to a lot of creatives from small towns, and it's always like, well, there's no fashion around me and no one's doing it. And how am I supposed to make it if I'm not in New York or LA and it's like, I mean, granted, I have mixed feelings about whether or not it's easier in those bigger cities where fashion is more prominent. I mean, you definitely, I think, have more people to reach out to potentially. But I loved, I started my business in a non-fashion town as well, a small town. So I kind of love, like you said, creating the lane. That's the beauty of starting something in a town, in a city, where it doesn't really exist, and especially like you said, for people of color. So I always kind of encourage and challenge those creatives who tell me that, well, create it.
Yeah.
Make it, you know, bring fashion to your area if it's not already there, because trust me, there are people in your town who want to do it probably, and who are thinking the same thing as you. No one's doing it here.
And there was a lot of people, you know, different talent designers as well. And it's like we gave them that courage. Like somebody sees us here, they believe in us, they're giving us this platform, and now we can go conquer the world. It's like so many people I've worked with in the past that are doing amazing things in Vogue and, you know, fashion weeks and styling for movies. And it's amazing to see that because of us, it happened. You know, we were the catalyst, you know, to give them that courage to go do it. So I'm absolutely proud and happy that we did that, for sure.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did this all start for you, LaKisa? You know, how did, you know, where did the love for fashion start, the beauty? Like, where does your story begin?
You know what, believe it or not, and a lot of people laugh when I say this, I had no interest in fashion when I was growing up. I was a tomboy nerd who was super shy, like super duper shy. And I had my brothers and my older sister who were, you know, into all the latest gear and fashion. And I'm like this little quiet, shy person. They're like, girl, you got to get out this show. You got to, you know, become a woman, and, you know, you can't be a boy all the time. I'm like, well, you know, I enjoy my sweatpants and hoodies and stuff. So my sister, I have to say, you know, got me dressing up and feeling pretty and taught the modeling stuff. And then I started going to bar design school and modeling. I was scouted at a Nelly concert. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm dressing right, looking okay now. And so I started going there, went there for about 6 months, graduated, and it kind of just took off from there. I became a little more confident, you know, coming out my shell, started taking acting classes, you know, learning how to do makeup. So I always was an artist. I always drew, painted, all that stuff. So I just started doing it on people's faces. So it just kind of grew from there, took off. And next thing you know, I had a career in modeling and fashion, entertainment. And like I said, from my experience from modeling and doing the makeup, it led to the company producing the models, the fashion shows, management. So just kind of literally just grew step by step.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First of all, I used to be like madly in love with Nelly, so that's really cool that you were discovered at a Nelly concert.
Yeah, and believe it or not, recently, Tammy, who's in the book with us, she interviewed Nelly for a cover, and then we got to go cover his concert when he came here. When was that? September? Yep,
Oh,
September.
nice. I think I did see, I saw that cover. Yeah. And I was wondering if she was the one who interviewed. That's so cool. Man, I was madly in love with Nelly. So yeah, back in the day.
Still look just like Nelly from back then. I'm like, you don't age at all.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't age at all. Yeah. So that's super cool that you were discovered at his concert.
Yeah.
And then you know what? I have a lot of respect for makeup artists. I mean, I have respect for creators all around, but I have a lot of respect for makeup artists, because I feel like I've probably done makeup on maybe a handful of people over the course of my career, because I'm not a makeup artist and I don't claim to be. And I'm like, you guys really have to like, there's a lot, like there's a lot more to it than people think. And I was like, you know, beginner basic makeup. And even that was like, Lord, like art. Yeah, like it is art, and I think that that's something that people don't realize. But it takes precision, and it takes detail, and it takes like a certain level of education, right? Because it's like, you know, the foundation with the skin tone and like all of, like, it's a lot. And I was just like, Lord, like I have so much respect for makeup artists. I really do.
I got a lot of self-taught ones now, which I was actually self-taught, which is weird. Like I started, you know, like I said, from the artistic point and then just doing it on people's face, but I still went to school to get my license for it and learn a lot more. You know, I thought I knew everything, but I'm like, oh, I really don't. There's different kinds of makeups, you know, for different kinds of skins, for, you know, movies versus videos versus photo shoots. And you got to know how to do the different shapes, you know, faces, the eye shapes, the everything, structure. Is so much that goes into it. And then, like you said, the detail, the precision, that steady hand, you know, getting details right. So
yeah,
luckily I already had a love for art, so it was easy for me to just transfer over. But fun fact, again, when I was in school, makeup school, my makeup teacher, believe it or not, she wasn't the greatest makeup teacher, but she was great at skincare. So when it came to teaching the makeup part of the class, she actually let me teach a lot of it because I was really good at it already, and got a lot of the girls, to be more confident with it. And he would have walk-ins that we had to practice on and things like that. But yeah, that was pretty cool to be able to use my skills and teach the class. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. One of the things I hear a lot from models and creators, and it's been my experience personally with makeup artists, is not having enough makeup artists who can do makeup for, women of color. And I say women of color because it's not just Black women, who have this issue. And there's a model that I know down in Florida, and this is like kind of her platform. Like, this is her mission, her passion is give us makeup artists and hairstylists for that matter, but for sure give us makeup artists who know how to do our makeup. And this has been like a debate. It's been kind of like a ongoing debate. I'm sure it's a bigger debate, but it's been an ongoing debate like in smaller circles. And so she was saying, she was negotiating with her agency that if she shows up to a shoot and they don't have, a makeup artist who, I'll just say bluntly, like who doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to darker skin colors or dark skin tones, that she'll do her own makeup, but then they need to compensate her what they would have paid the makeup artist. And I just want to hear your thoughts on that, because since you were in that world, I mean, for one, is it that makeup artists are just not educated on makeup for darker skin tones, or what do you think is going on there?
I think that is the case, because in school we didn't really focus on skin tone really at all like that, and then the colors were so basic. It didn't go like the full spectrum of color, so it would stop at a certain color. So you sit here trying to figure out, how am I gonna get this skin color when I don't have anything to mix with it to even get it? So that's one thing. They don't really teach you the whole spectrum in school. And then two, in the fashion industry, for years it's been, all about white women or, women of lighter skin. You don't really see many dark skinned women or women of color in the fashion industry until lately. So it's like, you're so used to doing a particular type of person, you don't really have the experience to do this person. And I ran into that a lot, doing the fashion shows and photo shoots myself. That's how I kind of started doing makeup even more, because they could never do my skin. And I'm not even, dark. I'll be looking like a ghost, cast, where I'm like, oh, no. So I started doing makeup and learned the different techniques and learned the different places I can go to find the texture, for Black skin. So, in my company in particular, I had a lot of Sudanese girls, African girls with like that dark purpley black skin.
I remember that from Syracuse. Yes.
Yes, so I really had to go study and search, like, where can I find the colors of their skin? I even started using some special effects makeup, believe it or not, to achieve those colors. But they love to see me come to any show or photo shoot, like, oh, I know she got me. She gonna have my know how to do our skin. So yeah, it's frustrating when you go places and they don't have somebody that can do your skin, or I got to do all the colored girls because they don't know how to do it. So I'm like having more than everybody else because I'm trying to do all of them. So yeah, it's definitely, to me, an issue, and they should definitely study more and have makeup artists who don't know how to do it go to school, learn it, practice. It's YouTube, it's all kind of stuff now where you can learn. So
right, that's true. And like, I mean, I love that, even you, already being a woman of color, still did research and everything like that and educated yourself. But I think it's safe to say that it should, if you're gonna go to like makeup school, beauty school, it should start there. It should be incorporated. I'm now at this point in the fashion industry, we're about to, it's 2022. All right. And with all the different different colors, out there in this industry, it should be part of the education. But if it's not, and if you're not receiving it formally, then yes, then I feel like as a makeup artist, that it is your responsibility to educate yourself on it. And also, doesn't it make you just more, marketable and make you able to, work with more
Yeah.
clients, and yeah, so that's a win there as well. So I know a makeup artist in DC who's Latina, and she's self-taught as well. And she said she had to do the same thing. Her skin tone is about yours. And she did her own research and she learned how to do makeup for women who had, darker skin tones and things like that. So she was like, now I can do anybody. But I
Yeah,
had to learn, I had to learn because it doesn't all work the same
it doesn't.
for everyone. So I was just curious, since you're in that world and it's your industry, your thoughts on that and how moving forward we can just do better, in that sense at least. So
Yes.
yeah, just curiosity there. But I do want to ask you. You mentioned you've interviewing and I think even attending a lot of different events. Of course, I am I love it all, but I'm the most interested in the fashion ones. So tell me a little bit about, like I won't say what's your favorite event because I feel like that's putting you out there too much. But I guess what types of events do you enjoy the most in terms of fashion?
Ooh, I would say I do enjoy, I think, the most Fashion Week in New York. Because it's such a variety of people. You got them coming from all over the world, all over the country, your independent ones, or just, starting ones, your veterans. So it's like you get the full scope and scale of fashion. And then it's in New York City, which is the home of fashion. And everywhere you turn around, you just see somebody like, wow, wow, wow. The styles are crazy. And you get so inspired just by going. So I definitely have to say New York Fashion Week is by far my favorite event. Still trying to make it over to Paris. That's on my hit list for there.
That's on.
That's
Yep.
the next one.
That's the next one. Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm with you on that. Yes.
Yeah. But I do love Miami Swim Week too.
Okay.
Because it's Miami, it's hot.
It's the vibe.
The bikini, the vibes are amazing. The parties, events are great. And the bikini fashion is nice too. You see some stuff you never thought of even making a bikini out of, like, wow. But yeah, I love it. It's, what I love the most. So I look forward to every Fashion Week.
Yeah. Like Fashion Week is, yes, it's amazing, but especially in like cities like New York and Paris, because in those cities, even without Fashion Week, it's like a fashion show in those cities all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Because especially, I think, the Parisian woman, she has a certain look, like the classic look, but, they get dressed when they go out, right? Okay. They really do. Yeah. And then New York, people are a little bit more bold. They like to try different things. So I think you're going to see a lot more variety in New York, but I think the level of like the detail and the classic and the chicness, which isn't a word, but I made it a word, comes out more in Paris. So like, it's a vibe for me, for sure. So I definitely, yes, I definitely like, I'm with you there for sure. As far as, like, interviewing different people within the industry and things like that. So I fangirl a lot, right? Not a lot. Let me take that back. Let me not put myself out there like that. I don't fangirl a lot. There's a particular designer that I love, right? And I met, his sister. His sister lives locally, and I fangirled. I fangirled her, and I was just, and it's not even that, she's not even the designer. She's his sister. And it was just kind of like one of those moments, like, and like, you don't know what to say. And I'm like, this is just the sister. Like, what are you gonna do when you actually meet him?
Listen, that was me with Anna Wintour. I was actually at Spring Studios for an event, and she was there. It was her and Serena Williams. They had an event there. Both. And I told you I had to keep my composure, because I'm like, that's Anna Wintour right there. Like, ooh. Yeah, it's me. I don't fan out that much at all, but it's just some people you can't help it. It's just like, right. Wow. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think yeah. Did you speak to her, or you kind of saw from a distance?
No. I looked at her from a distance.
No.
Because some people you just can't approach and talk to like that. You know, they're like, oh no, did she really just say something to me? Like, I have an assistant or manager for like some people are really like that. So you get ones that are not approachable. There's some that you can say hi to. So it's just certain people I don't even try to say, you know, from a distance. Yeah, that's her right there. Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Yeah, I don't think I would approach Anna Wintour either.
No. You're probably like, girl, bye, out of my face. Like,
I would like maybe try to make eye contact with her, but she always has glasses on. So you know,
that's probably why she wear the glasses. So you know, she probably don't like direct eye contact with people.
Right. That's they all do. That's why they all wear, you know, glasses, is because they don't have to make eye contact and stuff, like, you know. But that's her. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a picture or anything of her without glasses on. So
yeah,
so I get that.
Like, no. And some people like, okay, I'll be brave enough to say hi, or you know, ask for a picture.
Oh no, definitely not ask for a picture. I might be like, hello, and like, do you call her Anna or Miss Wintour? Like, you know,
Miss Wintour. Yeah, I would never call her.
Yeah. I would assume so. Mentor. Because Anna, she probably just like look, give me the Meryl Streep look, like commoner, why are you speaking to me?
Yeah.
I love it. I love her. I do. I love her. I also love, you know, as far as the Vogue family goes, Andre Leon Talley. He's one of my favorites also.
He's actually one of my good friends' godfather.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's a cool, yeah, that would be fun. That would be a fun godfather.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, as far as the Vogue family goes, he's my other favorite. But no, that's amazing. That's super cool. You know, that you have that experience. But I always like to kind of end, you know, things with just hearing more a little bit, you know, I guess like from your heart, as far as, you know, you've been in the industry now, and well, you've been in multiple industries now for a while, but specific to the fashion industry, you're in the fashion industry for a while, you know, get to dip your feet in a lot of different places within the industry. And so I have a question for you. And, you know, what, for one, the first question, I guess the first part is, what keeps you going? Why do you continue in this industry? Because it's not an easy industry. So what keeps you going?
It's not easy at all. And you know, it's so many times where I'm like, I quit. And I quit. And I'm like, you know what? I can't, because I love it so much and I just feel so empty and incomplete without it. I'm just super passionate about it. I feel good when I'm doing it, whether it's for myself or helping others excel and giving them the opportunities. Yes, I really can't see myself doing anything else, because it's become my life literally since 16.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing. It's hard, but that's what any, you know, job or career field, you're gonna have challenges, but you just gotta overcome, keep pushing and keep going if it's what you really love. And for me, it doesn't feel like work. You know, it's fun for me. True. I could be at a set all day, I could be at a show all day, not eat, sleep, I don't care, because I love what I do.
Yeah, and I love that you say that, because I mean, you know, because you've done fashion shows are some work. Okay, like they are, I mean, it's all work, but fashion shows are a different level of work, and the level of exhaustion that you feel at the end of a fashion show is beyond anything else. But it's like you said, it, to me anyways, it has never felt like work. It's like, I love every minute of it, and things like that. So I love that you said that, because it's like, I don't even sugarcoat it. It's work.
That's what I need to do, because I always get behind the scenes, like, you know, pictures, hair, stuff. But I need to like really document from start to finish, putting a show together, because people.
That's a good idea.
You snap your finger, call some models, get some designers, and it's there. I'm like, y'all have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. I think, you know, I had to have that heart-to-heart conversation with someone a couple years ago who approached me about producing a fashion show for her. And I, you know, told her, you know, my fee for that. And she was like, what? I mean, I can do that. I can just call some people. I was like, okay. First of all, I don't negotiate my rates. Okay. So we do that. So I was just like, that's fine. Obviously you're going to get what you paid for though.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so just
Oh
keep that
yeah.
in mind. But then she like kind of calmed down and she was like, no, for real, tell me, what it is. And I was like, honestly, when you just talk about it, it probably still doesn't sound like a lot to you. But a good fashion show, let's put it that way, a good professional fashion show that you can go and do, and like in New York, for example, like that, it takes so much from beginning to end. And even after the show itself is over, there's still multiple things that you're doing after the fact.
Oh yeah.
So it literally takes over your life for
literally for
whatever
months.
you right. So after I kind of explained it, she was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, it's so much more than just, hey, you want to come be in a show?
That's fine.
So I think that's awesome. I think that's an awesome idea, because I think that people, even within the industry, would benefit from that, education of, this is what it really looks like.
Yeah, from the casting calls to the locations to the decorating to
The music,
designers, and then insurance too. If something happened to this $1 million gown, because I had one guy from Dubai where we show like a $1 million piece. The dress was $500,000, and the crown was made of all crystals and pearls. And it's like, when I say guard with your life, don't even look in the door where the dress is at. Don't even open the door and look in there, because it's like, so it's so many details, and then getting them overseas, from overseas, making sure the clothes get here, lighting and vendors, and it's just so many details people have.
So many. So
right,
the cost, exactly, the cost. I think this may have been a year or two ago, but I looked up, I don't know what a Christian Siriano fashion show costs, and it was like, well, this is, I think, just what he paid the production company. It was like $500,000.
Oh yeah.
So like easily, right? And I'm just like, y'all don't, it's a lot.
Especially at Spring Studios, all those shows there starting like 200,000.
Right. I was like, it's a lot. And like I said, that's just what he paid the production company. That's not the venue and the this and whatever else, he has going on. So I'm like, and I know it's Christian Siriano, but the whole point is, it's costly because of how many people and how much goes into it. So I support your project of, documenting a fashion show from start to finish. I definitely support that.
Industry. It's a very expensive industry, and people think it's cheap. It's not. You spend a lot of money for these shows, for these fabrics, for everything. It's
right. It's
hair, makeup teams. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, I'll be waiting for that one to come out.
You're giving me an idea. Maybe for February.
I know. I'm like, no, I really do think you should. I think that would be great. I think you definitely should, for sure. But I guess final question for me would be, I love to ask this question as well. What advice would you give to someone, starting out in this industry?
Do your research first, because people just dive in like, yeah, I want to be a model, I want to be this, and just think it's just gonna happen overnight. You're gonna be Tyra Banks or the biggest designer tomorrow. That's not the case. Do your research, see what it takes to get into it. If you want to be independent, definitely do the research. If you want to be with a manager, do your research, because they'll rob you blind if not. No, you got to have your portfolios and everything together. Know what type of modeling or fashion you want to get into, because there's so many different types and levels. A lot of people don't know that, think it's just runway, high fashion, things of that nature, but it's commercial, your swimsuits, your everything, shoes, all across the board. It's so much to fashion. So I would say be knowledgeable, study, never stop learning, going to school, be educated, whether it's makeup, design school, network, network your butt off. Attend events if you can, different seminars, conventions, network. That's me. I've never really been signed to a big agency or anything my whole career. I had like a little, minor one here, but all the work I've done on my own, being independent, just by networking and putting myself in certain places. And, some stuff you got to volunteer for to get your foot in the door, and then you get paid afterwards. So it's, don't think it's going to happen overnight. No, it's a long journey. Stay focused, never give up for sure. And get a great team around you, a support system.
Yeah.
That's number one. Because if you ain't got that, it'll eat you up. This world will eat you alive.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, especially that last point, because that's what I preach with Worthy. That's why I created Worthy, for that, especially for that last point of getting, a support system around you from the very beginning, if you can. Because, like you said, this industry is amazing. I love it. We love it. We're never going to leave it. But we're not going to say that, it's not a tough industry. So, find those people, or, who are on your side and from the very beginning, and, who are in your corner, I would say, for sure. So thank you for that. Well, I want to say thank you so much for chatting with me. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and getting to know more about your fashion story. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you for having me on. I totally appreciate it. To be able to share my story and help and encourage other people. I'm all for it anytime.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.